Hi, this is Suzanne the Beauty Shaman, and today I've brought my very good friend Julie Smith in to do a makeup tutorial. So Julie is a licensed psychotherapist.
It's a
tough one. And she works with adolescents. So she's quite brilliant, and I have teenagers, so we end up talking a lot about our children, which is great. But today Julie has a question and we're going to try to answer it. So go ahead. What do you want to have done?
Red lips. I want to know how to wear red lips.
Okay. So what's difficult about red lips, do you find?
So I think that I don't know which color and how that pulls together, but I also want red lips to be very age appropriate because, I'm in my mid 40s and what I might have worn when I was 20 is not going to necessarily look as good today.
Have you tried to put red lips on before?
I have, and I question it. Sometimes I think it looks okay, but I still question it, so I don't feel as confident when I do.
Right. Do you feel overdone? Does it feel like it's too much when you put it on?
Some shades, it does.
Yeah, it can. I think especially as we get older, if we put them on, it can feel garish. It can feel like we're trying too hard, you know what I mean? Or it can just clash. So it's how do you wear it? And there's a very specific way to wear red lipstick, and that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yay.
So Julie's struggle with the red lipstick is that she has a lot of red in her skin. If you have a lot of red in your skin and you put on red lipstick, it's just too much red. Plus you have the blonde hair, so you have a warm undertone on your head and you have the red, it's just too, it's not gonna work, right, with red lips. So generally you probably wanna do roses, right? Or like almost nothing, right? Yeah. And plus you have big, beautiful eyes. And so sometimes what happens is when you do bright red lips and then you also do your eyes up, it can compete, it can be too much. So you want to kind of decide where the emphasis is going to be. And I've decided for Julie, the emphasis is going to be lips because we're doing lips. And we're just going to do a very neutral eyeshadow on her. So if you do really strong red lips, I really recommend you go for a less strong eye. And almost no cheek is what we're going to do. Because too much cheeks, too much lips, too much eyes, it's just overbearing, right? Unless you're, I don't know who does that, right? Who wears like way too much makeup.
Images of Tammy Faye Baker.
Tammy Faye Baker, thank you. All right, so we're not doing Tammy Faye Baker today. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to neutralize some of the red in your skin. So when Julie showed up, she had a very, very dry skin. So I just put a bunch of moisturizer on her skin. I used Cetaphil, which is one of my favorite for sensitive skin. Okay, so for dry skin, I want to know what you're taking internally for dry skin as opposed to just your moisturizer.
Moisturizer?
Yeah. Are you doing anything internally like?
So I have a vitamin routine that I have, and part of that is taking my vitamin E, it's taking my omegas, I'll take flaxseed oil. However, I don't do it consistently.
Right.
So I forget here and there. I might not take the oils, and then I'm just taking the capsule. So I know I think where I live, it's so dry. So it's a constant
we live
battle
in Colorado, so it's very, very dry. I'm going to work as we talk. Okay, so it's very dry here. That's why I'm finding the right foundation color. So, and then what do you put on it externally?
When I remember.
Yes.
I'm excellent at putting on my moisturizer in the morning.
Right.
And, I think I go back and forth between what I use. Recently, I've been using, I can't think of it, it's a plant-based moisturizer. Origins. And when I put it on, I can feel my skin sucking it in and taking it. I just, at night, I think as most of us do, it's time for bed, and it's the one thing that I know I would like to prioritize, and I don't.
Right.
I skip that, and I brush my teeth and crawl into bed.
Okay. So with moisturizers, for dry skin, because I think as we age, we tend to our skin does get a lot more dry. So what I recommend is get a good moisturizer for sure, but then the key with dryness is serums. So getting a really good serum to keep the hydration into your skin. Okay. So some good serums that I recommend are, Bobbi Brown makes a really good, called Extra Repair serum. That's excellent. They also make an Extra Repair moisturizer and eye cream that's fabulous. But then you also need to take so we're going to put some foundation here around your eye. Take your omega-3s and 6s. So Udo's makes a really good brand of oils called Udo's Oil, and it's 369. I think women over the age of 45, or if you're going through menopause, should really do probably like 4 tablespoons a day of that, like 2 in the morning and 2 at night. and it'll really help with your dry skin. Makes a huge difference. So I'm just taking out her red. Her, like you're not here. Talk about you like you're not here. Her. So, but I don't want to completely take it out, so I'm not going to put the foundation all over her skin. I'm only going to mainly put it on her face, because otherwise we're going to have this big line of demarcation. There's already a bit of a line, so I'm going to take that out. But my main point here was to just take out the majority of the red. Yes, I'm a professional. I forgot my sponges. I started, I'm like, yeah, I do this every day, right? Okay. I'm just going to blend that in. So I'm just blending it in. Now the foundation that you use, just be sure it's not a super heavy coverage. This is kind of a light to medium coverage foundation. I don't think women, as we get older, I do not believe that we should wear heavy foundation. If your skin needs help, then do your omega-3s, get good skincare, but don't use heavy foundation because it looks too masky. So, okay, so I've basically taken a lot of the red out of her skin. Now, if you want to take even more red out of your skin, then this very dirty little bottle here of Makeup Forever, and it's green tint. Other lines make a green tint. Makeup Forever is one of my favorites though. And I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna paint it. I have to put my glasses on because, you know, I'm 50. So, and I just kind of color it where I want it. And what it does is it helps to neutralize red. This is really good for people with rosacea. If you want to take the red out of your cheeks and foundation isn't enough, you just put a little bit of this just on top, or you can put it underneath, or you can mix it with your foundation if you're red all over. Very simple. So this might be more than what you do every day, because, you know, who's going to do all this every day as I drop the sponge? But it's just kind of minimizing, see? So that just sort of took everything out. La 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 la. Okay, now we're gonna do a little concealer under her eye. So this is my favorite brand of concealer. What's it called? Cover FX. So I really love this. Can't see anything. So this is G Medium. This is a great brand. There's other lines that make really good brands of concealer. Laura Mercier makes a fantastic concealer. Bobbi Brown makes a great concealer. Chanel. So just find one that works for you and only put this where you need it. As we get older, we want to, like, you know, go crazy trying to cover it, but don't. Just put it where you need it. And I'm not spending a lot of time on this because my main focus here is going to be her lips. So I'm just taking a little bit more red out around her nose, your schnozzle. Okay, look at me. How did I do? Look up for me. Just gonna blend this under. Look up. Just be really careful not to put too much concealer. Close. Underneath. Now, I also do conceal a little bit on top of the eye. If you have oily lids, if your makeup tends to crease, don't do that. You should not put it on top of your lid if that's the case. All right, so
I have a quick question with foundation. Do you recommend using brushes or sponges, one over the other, or both? Because I noticed you used both.
That's a great question. I do use both. I think for your own personal supply at home, do what feels most comfortable for you. And if you use a sponge, be sure, like maybe use a beauty blender sponge or something, but be sure that you keep it really clean, because that can be just a bastion of like crap, right? So you got to really keep that clean.
It's a technical term, right?
Yeah, the technical term of crap. All right, so I just put a very, very light powder on Julie's face just to take out some of the shine. But she's got dry skin, so I'm not going to go a lot with powder. If you have dry skin, really minimize powder. Okay, so the first trick, we're going to use some bronzer. So this is MAC. I really like MAC. I use a lot of MAC. This is a bronzer called Gold Deposit. And we're going to bronze you. So I have a special bronzer brush, but you don't necessarily need to use that. You can use whatever you'd like. So I'm basically gonna just warm up her face. The reason is red is a warm color. It's not a cool color. So I want to make her face as warm as possible, and that'll help her to hold that red lipstick. All right, so I'm put a little bit underneath her cheeks. So I'm just warming them up just a little bit.
Do you recommend bronzer or blush?
You know, this is bronzer, and if I was going to do blush, I can show you what color I would do. I'm putting it a little bit underneath here too. If I was going to do blush, I would do color right here. It's called Bamboo. As you can tell, it's loved. It's very loved. This one too. You basically want to use a really, really warm blush because you have so much color in your skin. Mm-hmm. I don't want to add more color to it. I want to just neutralize it. So with that, looks great. And I can even use this as a bronzer if I want to. Bronzer doesn't have to be a separate product. It can be a color like that, which I can use on your eyes. It doesn't matter. I think people get this idea you have to buy a separate bronzer, but that's just the beauty company making money off of you is all that is. Okay, so I'm also going to use this same color on your lid. I really like to take a minimalistic approach to makeup. Don't use a lot and use what works. So here we've used the same color, which we can use for bronzer, as on your lid, so that's great. Her, like you're not hitting. Keep doing it. Okay, one of the key points for doing red lipstick, and that is you want to be sure you fill in your eyebrows. Because when you're using a really dark color here, a strong color here, and you don't have your eyebrows filled in, especially because Julie's blonde, so they're very fair, it's going to look like her lips scream and everything else disappears. So I'm going to basically balance her face out, kind of like a painting. I'm lightly filling them in with a color that matches them. This is a blonde color. You can use a pencil if you want. I don't tend to like pencils because they're wax-based, and I work in television, so that just sort of melts right off of people's faces. So, just lightly filling it in. I'm not giving it that really, like right now it's really trendy to have these super chiseled eyebrows. You know, I think if you're over 40, it just kind of looks, it can look weird. I'm not going to say it always does, but you know, I want to, you know, my whole focus is to help women look like who they are, right? I'm not trying to make you into a fashion model. So, and I'm going to have to darken up your neck just a little bit more, I can tell. Okay. All right, so we filled in your eyebrow. Now I'm going to do lips, and then we're going to go backwards and do eyes, because that's how I roll. All right, so we're going to do lippies. Okay, so I'm going to start with lipstick, and then I'm going to put the lip liner on top. The reason I do that is because I want it to look really blended. I feel like we're going to go out after this and like laugh a lot. Do you know what I mean? I want it to look natural. I want it to look blended, and I don't want it to look like really sharp, right? Because, you know, I think we want to minimize the lines on our makeup as we get older, right? That's for people that are Ellie's age to like have, right?
They don't know who I am.
They don't know who you are. Ellie's our videographer. Okay.
Sorry, tickles.
You're gonna laugh all the way through. You didn't laugh last time I did this. You rub your lips together?
I know. I don't know why I'm ticklish today.
It's hard for me to see being back here, you know what I mean? Oh, bloody hell, that looks great. Okay. Okay.
Is it better to rub your lips together to blend the lipstick, or?
I would say if you're doing this yourself, that's a great question. If you're doing this by yourself, absolutely rub it. But if you are, going to go on camera, sometimes it's better not to because it tends to bleed it out a little bit. But, if it's yourself, just do it that way, yeah. So with lip liner, with a red lipstick, I want to use a neutral. I don't want to match the lipstick because I want it to be diffused. I don't want like a super sharp line. So to do lip liner, go ahead and close your lips. I'm going to start just getting the angles right. The bottom, the bow, and then I'm going to connect the dots. So you can tell it's really minimal what I'm doing. I am not doing a sharp line at all. She has kind of dry lips because it's Colorado.
Winter in Colorado.
Winter in Colorado, and everybody's dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody in Colorado is bone dry right now. Here we go.
Do you always recommend lip liner, no matter what the color?
You know, not always. If you have a really, really sharp lip line, I would say no. That's a great question. But because most women, as we age, your lipstick will want to go south and north, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't want to stay where you put it. So sometimes a lip liner will help it stay on.
Okay.
Also, powdering your lips before you put the lipstick on helps it to stay on a bit better.
I heard,
Yes.
I don't know where I heard it or when I heard it, it may have been decades ago, to put foundation on your lips before you put on lipstick.
Yeah, that's great. That works too.
Okay.
So you can do foundation, powder, lip liner, lipstick, powder, lip liner, lipstick. If you really want it to stay on, I do that for all my brides because I really want that to stay on. If you're in a professional environment, that might be a good idea, but if you don't care about your lipstick, or if you eat it like I do, and nothing works.
It does make you wonder how much lipstick is consumed.
Oh, I have a tree growing in my stomach, I'm telling you. Yeah, I have my lipstick tree. So, okay. So moving on to eyes, because we've got the lips and the cheeks. So now we just need to do a really, really minimal eye on Julie, because she has these big, beautiful eyes. And they're green, which is great. So warm tones bring out greens, close. So we're gonna stay with some warms. So this is just kind of a brownie color right here. I think it's called Era from a MAC. I'm just gonna lightly kind of blend in that on the outside of her eye. Just be really careful you don't overdo eyes when you do red lips. You want to do something though, particularly just something with a little bit of a warm color. And I'm going about halfway across her eye. I've got kind of a crease brush here. This is a MAC. Oh no, this is a friend of mine's. Called Boomy brushes. These are actually synthetic, but they work like a regular hair brush. They're fantastic. Very eco-friendly. Boomy brushes, B-H-U-M-I, for those who are interested. You can buy them online. And I'm gonna do a really warm eyeliner on you. I'm using a thin slanted brush here. This is the 222 by MAC. I really love this brush. And here's Espresso eyeshadow from MAC. Okay, so I'm just gonna go kind of brush it up. I don't know if you can get this on the camera, Ellie. It's like a brushing it upward. So I'm not doing a sharp line. I'm really minimizing it because I'm trying to just stay with the really soft.
And do you recommend a powder for eyeliner or a pencil or liquid?
I think it depends on you. If makeup tends to run down your face, don't use a pencil, but then use a waterproof pencil. If it stays on, then go ahead and use just a regular pencil, but I would always do a little bit of eyeshadow on top, just for this lovely soft look. Because it's just really pretty and soft. And you have such big eyes, it's not like you need to make them look bigger, you just want to accentuate. You just want to, highlight the color, and, it's not like I have fairly small eyes, so I really need the liner. Okay, look up for me. So another thing is...
It makes my nose itch.
Now her nose itches. Great.
I'm tickled. It's all ticklish and itchy. I really am.
So I'm not going to go all the way underneath Julie's eyes because I think sometimes that can look a little garish on women. Just depends. And it's kind of falling a little bit because that happens all the time. So I'm just going to push that out a little bit. Great. Just kind of, you see how I'm using that slant? Oh, Lord. Okay. So my next thing is, let me see. See that already? I think that's beautiful. Look at the camera. You can really see her eye color. It's really popping out. Very soft and pretty. Oh my God. Somebody's going to chase you down the street and kiss you.
Yeah, but I don't want them to mess up.
You don't want to, I know you don't want to. Awesome. All right, so this is a little bit of an eyeliner. So this is a MAC again, because I'm a MAC fan, right? So this is called, gotta put these back on to read that, Dip Down. So this is long wear. So it's just a brown, basically. And And all I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna touch it a little bit with a very, very small thin brush, just to get a little bit more on the outer edge. But that's it. I'm not even gonna pull it all the way across. So you can kind of see, it's just very, very slight. Because just wanna highlight a little bit of the outer edge. Beautiful, let's see. Gorge. Okay, and you've got some mascara on already, or a little bit?
Sure.
From last night?
No, I could have put some on this morning.
All right, so we're gonna put a little bit of mascara on. So my favorite mascara is Maybelline Great Lash. It just is. It's inexpensive, it works. I love inexpensive things that work. I'm very practical. Not into expensive stuff. Okay, look down. Don't close. Just look down. You have to follow directions, Julie.
Very difficult for me.
So, and I'm only going to use it on her top lashes. If you like it on your lower lashes, go for it. I tend to not. I just don't really like that look very much. Oops, and of course I had to smudge it on my work because, you know, I have to do that at least once a day. So, let's fix that. Okay, close. Edit, look up. Edit. So, can't have it looking too rough. Just look straight ahead. Let me just check it. Oh, damn. Who did your makeup? Good. You're so good. Okay, look up for me. Awesome. Okay, Gorge. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit more powder because you're a little bit shiny still, but not much. I don't mind shine. I actually like shine on people's skin, so not much. I just don't want it on her nose. Because I do TV, everybody doesn't want a shiny nose on talent. It's your talent today. We're not gonna, we're gonna do away. Okay.
Is shine different than dewy?
Dewy. Dewy's a better word than shine. So we're going for dewy, yeah.
Okay.
And I love dewy, but not everybody likes dewy.
Okay.
But I don't like, as women age, I don't like to look at their face and go, oh my God, you have so much powder on. So I try to use really translucent powders. So, okay, so Julie's done. I'm gonna show it to her, see what you think. You have to say, ooh.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, she touched her hair. It's always a good sign when women touch their hair.
Because we're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I look really great. Now I need to go out and like flirt with the guy at Starbucks or something, right? Get a free coffee out of it. So I hope this has been helpful for my audience today, teaching how to do red lips on a blonde. So thank you for joining me, and this is Suzanne, the Beauty Shaman.